What up guys, TV Drifting here. We have hit our third video for the week and I'm very happy to be bringing you guys some content, but it seems like we've got quite a bit of parts coming in and things for this year, so it's very exciting and I'm glad I get to share that with you guys. I don't know what I'm gonna do whenever all this stuff stops coming in and I'm not working on the car anymore. It's not gonna be fun because I like making content for you guys, showing you kind of what's going on. But once that ends, like once we start the season, you know, I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to do as far as put new parts on the car. So hopefully you guys are enjoying these last few videos. They're kind of back to back and I'm glad I can get some content out to you guys. We're actually on our way to the hardware store. We're going to Northern Tool. I guess that would be a tool store, not a hardware store. We're going to Northern Tool to pick up some tools and some small things for a package that I got today. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I'm sure you saw it on my story. It's a big box, but I haven't revealed what's in it yet. Most of the people who I talk to every day probably know what's in the box, but it's gonna be probably one of my favorite things that we're gonna do to the car this year. It's been long overdue and I'm just ready to get it put on the car. So I think that's what we're gonna tackle tonight. We may have my friend James come over and he might help us out with, oops, almost gave it away. He might help us with making this thing work and you guys will get to see how we do it. So it's gonna be awesome. I'm super excited and I'm glad you guys get to join me. So we're on our way to the tool store now. Once we get there, we're gonna get what we need and get out and head back to the house, and then I will unbox the surprise so you guys can see it. Alright guys, so we have made it back to the house, and after being at these, I first went to Northern Tool to find the stuff to use, and then they didn't have one of the things I was looking for, so I had to go to Home Depot. So I have literally been out to the store for like 2 hours. I'm so ready to be home because this surprise is just gonna be awesome. Just to give you guys kind of an idea, this is our big package. Some of you may know what it is already, but I guarantee you a lot of you don't. So what I'm gonna do is open up the stuff that I got from Home Depot and from Northern Tool and see if it kind of gives you guys a hint as to what the surprise may be. They didn't have exactly what I wanted at Home Depot, but they have something that will work. And for now, it'll work until I can order some new stuff. Alright, and here's my big bundle of mess. So I purchased some riv nuts, and I would say most of you guys are probably trying to figure out what is in that big box over there. And this might have kind of showed you what that is. So I'm gonna jump in and go ahead and open up this box and show you guys what's inside. Man, they make these boxes absolutely so hard to get into. I just got it open and I've been fooling with this thing for like 3 minutes, so let's look what's inside. Alright guys, I hope you're ready. I just spent like 10 minutes unboxing this. Like, these guys do not want their stuff to break. So a company overseas in Latvia has sent us these parts. The name of the company is Cliqtuning. So if you can't figure it out from that, you're just gonna have to see. But I'm gonna show you now. Are you ready? Guys, we've just received some over fenders from Cliqtuning. And I have never been more excited in my life. I'm so happy. I've wanted these forever and I finally got them. They also sent us with this really cool sticker package here, and they're like chrome red. So these are gonna match my wheels perfectly. And these will be going on the new livery because they match, and I just wanna give a huge shout out to Cliqtuning. These look awesome. Can't wait to mount them up and see how they look. I see a lot of people running these over fenders on Instagram. Chelsea Denofa also runs them on his little 318 Ti that he has an S54 in, and he likes them. He recommended them. I shot him a message and asked him what he thought about his so far, and he liked them, so I decided to go with them. So I've got a couple of buddies on the way here to help us, and we're gonna kind of mock these things up and see if we can get them mounted tonight. It's a long job, but I think we can do it. I have to drill out the current fender flares off the car, drill the rivets out, and then we can kind of mount these up to see how they're gonna look. So we've got them kind of mocked up here, held on by tape. This is actually, I think, how we're gonna leave them. I think they look good like this. But I've got them mocked up to see what they're gonna look like once we mount them. I think they look really good. Might have to do some trimming here. I think at full lock this thing is gonna rub, so we might just trim it all the way up through here and get rid of that lip. So that we have some more space to work with, and so we don't knock it off. I'm about to drill in. Come on, baby. Gonna make our first incision right here, and then kind of line everything else up, and then mark our place to where it's even through here, and then we will mount everything else. Here we go. Oh, just barf. Wow.
It's got more torque than my CRV does.
So now, since we have our hole, we're gonna take it off and try and insert one of these riv nuts, and then find out exactly what size bit we're gonna use. All right, so we have riv nut number 1. We used our trusty dusty riv nut tool, and it worked out great. So now we're gonna knock out probably all 4 corners first, and then measure out so that we make sure that they are all evenly spaced and still hold it pretty well. So, all right, and after drilling all the holes and putting all the riv nuts in, as well as the screws, this is what we look like. We had to kind of do more down here because it was bubbling whenever we would put one in, as well as over here. So we kind of fixed the bubble issue. Didn't bubble very much on top, so we really only have 3 main points, and it seems to hold pretty good. So I got a crew here now, and we're gonna tackle the front one, and then we'll be done for the night probably, because we haven't even started on the other side. So we got the rear put on, and we also went ahead and did the front. I didn't video it just because we were just talking and having a good time and working. Like, we got the front done in no time flat compared to the rear. And this is what the front looks like. Put one here, one up there, and then 3 down here. We didn't put one here just because it seems like it's pretty durable. We'll see how that one goes. If we end up having to put one there, that's cool. I'll put one like in this area just so it's kind of stationary and feels a little bit more sturdy. But as of now, it looks like we might have a little bit of a fitment issue. I'll probably have to either trim this a little bit, or we'll have to raise the car up, which I'm not opposed to. Overall, I'm very impressed with these fenders. They really weren't that hard to mount up. You know, they fit almost perfectly. I think we had a better fitment for the fronts than we did the rear, but both of them fit just phenomenally. And you know, I'm glad to work with these guys this year over at Cliqtuning. And you know, I can't wait to throw a wrap on these and make them black with the car. And then of course we've got the new livery coming up, which I have not unveiled to anyone yet. I've showed some of my closest friends, and they think it's just the sickest thing they've ever seen. So I think it's gonna look good this year, but I'm not. This is probably what it's gonna look like when we go to Bristol in 3 weeks or 2 weeks. Just because I don't wanna give anything away. I want the wrap to be kind of, you know, for competition use, and in case, you know, something happens at Bristol, we're not gonna ruin the wrap. So for now, it'll stay looking like a Panda, We're actually gonna finish the other side tomorrow so that we can go ahead and have all the overs done. We ran out of time tonight, so we'll finish them tomorrow. What's up guys? Day 2, and I guess today we're gonna flip the car around and do the other side. One thing that I do wanna do while we're still on this side, just to check and see how it looks, is the rear has some poke. You can see the poke there. I actually have 25mm spacers in there that I'm gonna try and take out and see if some of that goes away. I know it's probably not 25mm of poke, but maybe we can get rid of some of it. I do have another 10mm spacer that I could throw in there if need be, but for now we'll just take that out and see how it looks without the 25mm spacer. So I think the front looks amazing. Like, it ended up working just great. Fitment's perfect, so I don't want to do anything with the front. So this is our fitment without the 25mm spacer. As you can see, we have a little bit of a gap, but it looks a lot better than if it were poking out. So I think what we're gonna end up doing is just running a 10mm spacer in the rear, and hopefully that'll fix that up a little bit. And if it comes down to it and the 10 still doesn't look right, what I'll do is probably just put the 25mm back in there and then come up with some small spacers. Maybe put 15mm spacers, little plastic washers in between the over fender and the body, and see if I can get a little bit more clearance that way. That way we're not, you know, having to buy a bunch of spacers and instead just buy a little plastic washer, which shouldn't be 50 cents a piece. I would hope not more than that. So we will figure that out at a later time. But right now, we've got this side broken down. We've got the fender flares off of this side. I ripped them off. It's really ugly under here, but you'll never see under here again. So this is what we're kind of looking like right now. But once I get that fitted up, we're gonna be all nice and wide. This is gonna pose a problem for us. I did lay the over fender on here and tried to open up the gas cap, and it does make it a little difficult to open. So I may have to trim the over a little bit so that we can still access that. I know I see a lot of people just take this off and they run it without the gas flap, but I don't want that exposed. I want it to look like normal, so we're not gonna do that. As of now, it's just me. My help won't be here for a little bit longer, so I'm gonna go ahead and try mounting up the front by myself, because the rear is gonna take some finagling, since we're gonna have to watch the gas cap and also make sure that it lines up about as even as the other one did. So I'm gonna wait on that one so that I have some help on it, holding it up and stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on the front and see how it goes. All right, so we got all the riv nuts inserted for the front fender. Took me a little bit to try and line everything up to kind of make it even like the other side, but we got all of the riv nuts in, and now it's time to just go ahead and mount up the fender and make sure everything works properly, and then we'll start on the back. So before I start on putting the fender on, I'll show you guys. We got one riv nut there, one riv nut there, and then one there, and then we have 3 down here. 1, 2, 3. And like the other side, I don't know that we're gonna do one here yet, but we'll figure it out. We'll see how much it sticks out, or if it's gonna be an issue, and if so, then we'll go ahead and add one there. But for now, we're just gonna leave it without it. And because I ran into the issue myself, I wasn't really sure what size riv nuts everybody was using for their fenders. I decided to go with these. They are 1024-130. So basically 1024 is going to be the number that you're looking for. I looked forever in the aisle because people were recommending 1032, and then some people had used smaller stuff, but it wasn't recommended. So I think this size will be just fine if you go with a 1024 or a 1032. And it also comes with, on the back, it has the correct drilling size for you to do. So just follow that and you should be good. And voila, there you have it. We have one more over fender mounted. Got all the bolts in it, or screws rather, and we're good to go. I think on this side you can see how much play is on it. I think we are gonna ultimately go ahead and put one here, just to hold it down, and so the wind doesn't catch it or rip it off or something. So we'll be doing that. I don't currently have enough of them to do this, so we'll do this at a later date. That's gonna be it for right now, until I can get some help for the rear. So hopefully they show up soon and we can knock that one out. I'm gonna go eat real quick, and then hopefully by the time I get done eating, they'll be ready to come over and we'll get started on the rear. So we finished up with front and rear now. We are short some hardware, so what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and order some nice hardware and washers for all the holes. We got this side rear mounted the best we could. And guys, I think that's gonna do it for this one. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and we got the silver fenders pretty much buttoned up now. Now we just have to order some new hardware and get it all fit up, and then we're done with it until it's time to wrap it all and have the new livery on there, which I will probably be releasing a hint of it soon, so you guys kind of have an idea of what it is going to look like. But until then, I guess if we don't see you guys at Bristol, we'll see you at Nashville Super Speedway for Pro-Am Round 1. See you guys.
Yabba dabba dabba,